discussion in this chapter, the Indian Constitution, the significant provisions and the preamble, I would like to discuss about 8th schedule of the Constitution separately. 8th schedule deals with the languages, and in fact I would like to specifically talk about some points, and in this context I would also like to talk about the classical languages, because that is a new concept also. 8th schedule languages and the classical languages I would like to talk in this particular video, because again exam point of view this is very important. That is why I am specifically talking about 8th schedule. Many other schedules, the 5th schedule, 6th schedule I will be elaborating separately. 8th, 9th, again separate. 10th we are doing elaborately as part of the general anti-defection law. So 11th, 12th is Panchayat Raj municipalities, again that is elaborated. So 8th schedule normally it will not come under any other specific heading outside. So that is why I would like to discuss it here itself. So 8th schedule. Now in the 8th schedule, as I mentioned earlier also, these are the languages recognized by the Constitution, and a couple of points about the Indian languages I would like to add here is, India has official languages at the state as well as central level, but there is no national language. We have official languages, but no national language. So I would like to remind you that there is no national language. So we have official language but no national language. Hindi is the official language of the central government of India. Hindi, the official language of the central government of India, whereas English as a provisional official sub-language. English is a provisional official sub-language. So we have official language, no national language. Please remember, individual states and legislatures can adopt any regional language as their official language. So individual states can adopt their own regional language as an official language. Article 346 of the Constitution, Article 346 of the Constitution recognize Hindi in Devanagari script as the official language. So 346 deals with Hindi as the official language, and languages of India primarily belong to two major linguistic families. Now we have thousands of languages in India. Now two major language families. One, that is what we call the Indo-European family. This is where the the Indo-Aryan Hindi, and almost 75% of the population speaks this Indo-European language. Then we have Dravidian languages. This is almost 25% of the people speak Dravidian languages, the South Indian states especially. Then there are two more major families. One is Austroasiatic family and Tibeto-Burman family. Tibeto-Burman family. So these are the four major linguistic families we found in India. And now if you look at the individual mother tongues, we have hundreds of different mother tongues, if not thousands of different mother tongues. And if you add all the thousands of dialects are there, thousands of dialects. So hundreds of mother tongues. So several hundreds of mother tongues are there, and thousands of dialects. We can say dialects are the sub-languages, we can say. And according to international classification, India has more than 400 different languages. 400 different languages. internationally established classification in various ethnologues where classification languages have been done. India has more than 400 languages. 24 of them are spoken by more than 1 million people. 1 million plus people each, 24 of them. 114 of them are spoken by at least 10,000 each. 114 of the languages are spoken by at least 10,000 each. So, we have hundreds of more than 400 languages in India. 24 of them are spoken by at least 1 million people each, and 114 of them are spoken by more than 10,000 each. So, that is how the languages are there. Now, out of this, 22 languages are mentioned in the 8th schedule. These are the these are the officially recognized by the constitution. 22 languages are recognized by the constitution. 22 languages recognized by the constitution. So, it is clearly mentioned, plus English. So, English, now a very important point is English is not mentioned in the 8th schedule. English is not mentioned in the 8th schedule. It is an official official language. We can say it is. I already said, English is treated as what? English is treated as an official or provisional official sub language. Okay, provisional official sub language. Okay, so that is English, not mentioned in the 8th schedule at all. But Hindi is mentioned. Hindi is there. Originally, there were 14 languages in the 8th schedule. In the 1950, when the constitution came into being, 14 languages in the 8th schedule. Hindi was one of them. And then let us see which were the official 14 languages in the beginning. So, if you start from the South India, we can safely say Malayalam, Tamil, then Kannada, then Telugu, Marathi, Oriya, then Bengali, Assamese. So, just see Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, Marathi, Oriya, Bengali, Assamese, then Gujarati, then we had say Punjabi. So, these were all spoken in major states. Hindi is spoken in many states. Now, other than these, one is Urdu. Urdu has no particular state. So, Urdu, then Sanskrit. Sanskrit not spoken in any particular state, or not many people are speaking this. So, we have so Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, then Kashmiri. I just forgot to mention. So, another language which is widely spoken as a state. So, we had Kashmiri. So, 12th we can say Kashmiri. So, 12 languages where major states are there. Urdu, no major state, but at least 4% of the population speak Urdu in India even today. No specific state in Urdu, but all other states, all other languages have a state. Then Sanskrit not spoken by many people, but it is part of the our 8th schedule. So, this is added up to 14 states. Sorry, 14 languages originally found. So, this is a 14. Now, a 15th language Sindhi was added, please note, into the 15th language which is added Sindhi. Sindhi was added to the 8th schedule through 21st Amendment Act in 1967. Sindhi 21st, so it's the 15th language. Then 16, 17, 18, three languages were added in through 71st Amendment Act 1992. 71st Amendment Act 1992. These were Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali. Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali. So, in 1992 we added three more languages to make it 18. Then finally in 2003, four more languages added through 92nd Amendment Act. 2003 we added Bodo, Dogri in Jammu, then Maithili in Bihar and Santhali in Jharkhand especially. So, we have added four more languages to make it 22. That was in 2003 92nd Amendment Act. So, we have constitutionally recognized, we have more than 400 languages in India, more than almost 1700 dialects spoken in India, and all at least four language families are there present in India. Of course, two of them are the biggest. Right now 22 languages are recognized in the Indian Constitution. So, that is how the 8 scheduled languages are placed. Now, recently in the last 20 years, in fact in 2004 for the first time, the government elevated Tamil to the newly created official status classical language. Now let me talk a bit about the classical language also. Classical languages. So, in 2004, for the first time Tamil was declared as a classical language, and in 2005 Sanskrit was also declared as a classical language. In fact, these two are the original language where it is not with much mix up. Tamil is a pure language where the influence of Sanskrit is almost zero, or influence of other languages are almost zero. And subsequently many more languages were added into the classical list. In fact, in 2008 Kannada was declared as a classical language. Then Telugu again in 2008 itself. When Telugu also declared, now naturally the other South Indian language, that is Malayalam. So, naturally people said that what is the difference between Kannada, Telugu and Malayalam? So, there is no difference as far as the source and things are concerned. So, because Tamil plus Sanskrit is what all the three languages. So, Malayalam also got it in 2013, and Oriya was given this status in 2014. Oriya or Odia has been given this classical language status in 2014. So, according to the Ministry of, so this is not mentioned in the Constitution, this is through in a guidelines by the Ministry of Culture, and central government notifies it, and according to the Ministry of Culture, this classical language, to achieve this, certain conditions were, certain guidelines to declare a language is given. First of all, high antiquity. Now, what are the guidelines or what are the requirements? Number one, high antiquity of its early texts. Antiquity of its early text or recorded history at least 1500 to 2000 years, at least 1500 to 2000 years. Number one. Number two, a body of ancient literature considered to be valuable heritage. A body of ancient literature or texts which are considered to be valuable heritage by generations of speakers. So, a body of ancient literature should be there. Then the literary tradition be original and not borrowed from anybody else. Original literary tradition. There should be an original literary tradition. An original literary tradition. Number 4, the classical language and the literature being distinct from modern, and thereby there may also be a discontinuity between the classical language and the later form or its after. So, a classical language and literature should be distinct from the modern one. The classical language is distinct from the modern one which is spoken right now, from the modern one. So, these are the criteria kept for declaring a particular language as classical, and based on this definition we already have 6 languages declared as classical languages, but not in the constitution. Please remember, Tamil was the first to be declared, which is 100% correct. Tamil and Sanskrit are really and originally they are, we can in any definition they will come under the definition of classical definition, but all other languages, whether it is Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, Odia and all, so it is slightly watered down definition we can say, because there is a mix up of there is a lot of influence of Tamil say in Malayalam, and there is a lot of influence of Sanskrit in Malayalam. So, it will be very difficult to go by the original official definition of the classical status in any case, but still in India we have 6 classical languages right now and 22 8 scheduled languages, 114 languages which are spoken by at least 10,000 people, 24 languages are spoken by at least 1 million people, more than 400 different languages in the country and more than 1600 dialects in the country. So, India has such a rich cultural heritage and linguistic heritage we can say, and that is why 8th schedule has 22 different languages already. So, that is about the 8th schedule languages and the classical languages.